Hello, everyone, and welcome to Loud and Proud Orlando. We are live Monday, September 16th, 7:38 p.m. Thank you to everyone that's joining us live right now. We're about 12 people live right now. We're live on Instagram, so if everybody is checking us out there, make sure you drop your comment as well. Thank you to everybody on, X. Sorry about that, X, and also on YouTube. Make sure you drop your comments, subscribe to our channel, and drop us your comment. We'll read all your comments tonight. It's been a phenomenal week in general for soccer in Orlando. We'll discuss all of that and more. Orlando City destroyed New England. Um, it was on paper expected because of the type of team that, the type of players that we got on the roster. We had the better roster overall, the better coach, and it just showed. Also, we're going to talk a little bit about what's happening with Charlotte. We're going to preview the game that's coming up in the next few days for the Lions. It's a pretty big week for Orlando. They're able to hopefully get another 3 points at home and prepare themselves to travel to Columbus to face and slay the dragon, as I say, right? Because they are pretty much the dragon
The
in this story called MLS. So stick around and buckle up, guys. We're here with John and Paola. Paola, how are you? Welcome back.
I'm doing fantastic after a perfect week, Orlando City weekend. Pride, Orlando CB, now Orlando City. What else we can ask for? So
Well,
I'm absolutely
I
yeah.
don't
Go
know
ahead.
if it's perfect because the Pride
That's true,
sadly
but
only tied.
yeah,
But
but they
still,
didn't.
seven out of
Hey,
Nah,
nine.
man.
It's not
Still
bad.
I
undefeated,
mean,
man. We won the
Hey,
series
hey,
against KC.
hey! I'm just saying that we've had 9-point weekends.
I
That's all.
know it could have been better, but I won't complain. Let's put it that way.
Oh yeah, no
Okay,
complaint.
okay. No, but I'm good. Happy to be back, us three together to talk about Orlando City.
How are you, John?
Good man, yeah. Had a great weekend watching soccer, enjoying the games, both Pride and City, and I caught a little bit of OCB on Sunday night as well. They snuck up into third, so shout out to OCB. I don't think we talk enough about them, but they're having a nice late season push. So all three of the teams looking on the up as we get to the end of the season. That's what we want to see. So lots of positivity around the club and excited to talk all about this 3-0 win, bro.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, definitely, we're going to start reviewing the game against New England Revolution. A rocket from Rafa Santos, which was very unexpected. No one had it that he was going to score in this game. And then Facundo Torres again, with a penalty. And I want to give thanks also to Duncan McGuire for coming into the show. If you missed the interview, it's you. I think you're missing out. It was a pretty big interview for us. So we wanted to thank the club also and Duncan for being so kind to come over into the pod
I'm jealous, Luis. I wasn't there, man. Me and
yeah.
Paolo were
So
like, "Oh, Luis gets to interview Duncan. We want to be there."
no, so check it out. It's on our YouTube channel. Make sure that you subscribe. Duncan McGuire scored again. I think in his.
Oh, Luis, you are mute.
Can you hear me? No.
Yeah, now we
Now
got
we
you.
can.
We lost you
All
a
right.
second
Sorry
there.
about that. I don't know what happened. No,
You're good.
after being in the pod, like he started scoring. So hopefully we're the lucky charm for Duncan. But honestly, it's good to see him back into the scoring mode. And I do want to also say Nico Lodeiro, he came in and he changed the pace of the game when he came in. So it was a great substitution. But we'll discuss all of that and more. In or out of form? That's another question that we're going to discuss today for the Lions. We're going to preview Charlotte, and then we have predictions for the game against Charlotte FC. So let's start with the Revs. John, what are your first impressions of this game when you first started? You came with a lot of expectations, and then the first goal came in, and then what happened?
I mean, I got to go back before the first goal came in because we started out a little shaky. In fact, I'll show you on the FootMob actually displays it pretty well in the momentum because the beginning of this game we were kind of on the back foot a little bit. As you can see, this sort of early period here of a lot of red for New England. So it started out a little shaky, and then that Rafa Santos banger settled us down, and then it was kind of okay. Now we're gonna take control of this game, but it was there's some defensive lapses. We were giving away the ball at times. It wasn't a perfect game, but 3-0 was the result of what we expected to do against a team like this. So I think it's the result that matters at the end of the day. But I still think like we need to improve on some things. Against another team, we'd probably be punished a little bit for some of the defensive errors that we made.
Yeah, I mean, everybody. I mean, at least in the preview for the game, I think one of the biggest pieces for New England is Carles Gil, and he underperformed in this game. I don't know if you feel the same, Paola. He also was very heavily contained by Orlando's mid, and I think that trickled down for everything to fall apart. What are your thoughts regarding that, Paola?
No, you said it correctly. Wilder was doing his job. He had a great performance, even though he had a yellow card, but it was expected because he was trying to tackle Carles Gil. That he had a free kick, and I was like, this is a free kick for Carles Gil. These are his momentum to score. But guess what? Galese was there, and I don't know if he watched film on Carles Gil or something happened in the past that he tackled that curveball. He took it out. So I mean, he was still a little player for us, but at the same time, Wilder did his job and Cesar Araujo did his job. I think Cartagena had a better performance than Araujo on this one, but they made the job, and I think they heard us on the last episode, Luis, that we talked about how dangerous Carles Gil can be and how to tackle him because he's the heart of New England. So if there's no Carles Gil, there's no New England Revs. So that's what happened on Saturday.
Yeah, I want to give kudos to Mr. Martin Perlman. That's another person that goes unnoticed. He's the guy who's in charge, I believe. I was told on the set pieces for the team, and the first, the rocket from Rafa Santos, it came from a set piece, right, John? And I mean, the person we least suspect to score. What are your thoughts regarding that golazo from Rafa Santos? He was completely unmarked.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. It's not often we see it go from the training pitch onto the actual pitch and be successful for this team. We've seen, I think, over the years, different things like the Cesar long throw comes to mind, and like other set piece tactics, but they're not always successful, or very little, in my opinion. All of them have been successful, but they've been trying this one with Rafa for a while, like with his ability to strike the ball, and he gets quite a good, dip on it, especially you can see. So this was a great move. They executed perfectly, and the shot from Santos is an absolute banger from the outside of the net, and they didn't suspect it. And it came at a time, like I said, that we really the game was very open. It was back and forth. So it helped us settle down with a goal coming from a guy that, we don't expect to be scoring goals. But clearly, if he can do that, then this is something that we want to try and do and repeat. And hopefully they can do this again, because not always in soccer is something like repeatable, but this literally is a routine that we could maybe keep busting out.
For sure. Let's read some comments, and then we'll dive into the actual film and the review the game. Alonso Linka says Galese should be on the team of the week. Thank you, Alonso. Appreciate it. A kill. Says, can't believe Ramiro is faster, better, and has more accuracy than Fat Boy Muriel. That guy is in debt with us at 29 point percent APR too. Well, yeah, I mean, it happens. I mean, every single team has a bust, at some point. In Barcelona, it was Aubameyang, and in Chelsea, it's been Moy Caicedo so far, Enzo
Mudryk.
Fernandez. Mudryk was a bust,
100 million bust.
Yeah, so it happens. Clearly, I don't know what his contract situation is. So I agree with kill. Either he becomes the Muriel we saw at Atalanta, or at least some sort of close mirage of it, or I will cut my losses, man, if I was the owner. I'm just saying. This is Cartagena had a fantastic game in the midfield. This is Anthony Solis. For a lot of people that complain that the players go to play for their national team, every time Cartagena and Galicia come back with duty from Peru is doing terrible, but they are like in a super high. They come determined to win every game. So I love that. I think it's a win-win for us. UCF Knights also won, says Anthony Solis. Alonso says buena tarde. Felipe Martin's heart. There you go. Stream Jesus, vamos mi gente. Anthony Solis, what's up? Everyone how we feeling tonight? Yeah, we're feeling good, man. Thank you. It says, let's do the highlights real quick here. Let me just look it up. I haven't had him up, so
UCF came from behind late, man, to get that win. I was like, it was a good weekend for Orlando sports.
Definitely good weekend for Orlando sports. Yeah. Let's see if there's somebody in Instagram that has left a comment real quick. I want to say hello to Annette Dyke. I believe that's Corey Dyke's mom, I believe. Andrea is also watching. Kim Scott, 305 Canes for life. Eric Torres, thank you so much for watching. Corey had a phenomenal game as well. We'll discuss that on the Pride Pod tomorrow. Okay, I have the 7-minute film that they're putting here, the MLS. There you go. All right, so let's take a look here. This is
South American front four full of all kinds of.
I think this is going to be a constant. This lineup. Do you believe this is? I feel bad for Brecalo. I mean, for starters, he comes into the team, and I don't know how you feel about that, John.
I think it's just because the internationals, man. I think he missed the last game because he went away for international. Yeah. And then he played like 2 games as right back for Slovenia, and he would have just got back like a day or so before this. And Slovenia is a lot further than, well, maybe not that much further than Peru, but you know what I mean. Like he might just need a bit more time coming back and forth because it's quite far to Eastern Europe.
Yeah, plus it's probably a good idea to rest him because of his injuries. So
yeah, I just think when we see that, it's not always like they throw it, and I think Oscar feels quite comfortable with Schlegel, so he's not always in a rush to like throw him back in. But I do think we're gonna see him get like back in the team, probably on against Charlotte.
Of goals and movement with Argentina under 23 striker Ramiro Enrique, who against St. Louis. Nick Lima comes in.
Now, Paula, to you, aside of Carlos Hill, does this team? I expected more, to be honest with you, for England. But I mean, they were just not in the right mindset, in my opinion. I expected more from Brioni.
More from Langoni, and Brioni,
from Langoni.
Yeah. I didn't notice that they had a 9 in the field at some point. So yeah, I expect a little more. Isn't up for us, right? But yeah, I don't know what's going on in
at right fullback side.
No, this was a little bit of a controversy online. The shorts, right? Everybody was saying, "Well, why are you playing with white shorts?" Right? And well, number one, in FIFA, where it's not called FIFA anymore, it's called E20
something,
FC 25 or something like that. They're actually with white shorts. So now, when I asked is because purple is close to red. So I think Orlando
So
decided.
there's a
Yeah.
rule about like light and dark colors. So like you're
So
supposed to
stupid.
have like one kit that's light and one kit that's dark per team. So like your home
Uh-huh.
kit or your away kit, like if you think about us, we always have a dark with the purple home kit
Yeah.
and a white light away kit, right? Now that's supposed to be the rule around the league, and it is. But then when you get this scenario where they have a dark short and we have a dark short, they can't both, so we can't wear purple short and red short. So we get forced to wear our white shorts because I guess they don't have any. I guess their other shorts are blue. I don't know, but
Why can they? Why
that's
can they
that's
just?
the explanation.
Yeah, like that's a them problem, not us problem.
Yo,
Yeah.
their problem became our problem, and now we're
I
wearing white
know,
shorts.
and we had to adjust and put a different.
And we look like clowns in white shorts. I don't like it.
No, I mean, I think it's a new. I think we're gonna continue playing with white shorts now. First is the white tee. Now it's the white shorts.
Why don't New England have white shorts? Like, I guess they have like dark blue shorts is their other option. So they have 2 dark shorts. So how is that allowed? I don't know.
I don't
But
know.
this bothered me
FIFA.
for like a good first
Not
5-10
FIFA,
minutes of the
MLS.
game. Yeah.
Explain. We need explanations about this.
Well, I mean, yeah. Hot take. I think the white shorts look nice with a purple shirt. There you go. Yeah, me too, man. I'm not complaining. As long as they win, I don't care.
That's
Alonso,
true.
All
Alonso said-
purple. No white shorts.
Yeah, damn, they look similar. LMAO says, Oz. Oh, thank you, Oz. How are you, my friend? I think it's bad too. There you go, Anthony Solis. David also has to have a major time zone adjustment, at least compared to Gales and Cartagena. And says Thomas Williams deserves minutes. Fabian Loyola needs minutes too. Maybe. I don't know about them too, but I know who does deserve minutes, and we'll talk about it later on. But let's start with the highlights real quick here.
You know what it is?
He just said the City Slickers.
Yeah, just ignore this man. You know what the Rafa Santos shot is though? It's just his cross that he does.
Yeah,
But
It's the
to
same
net.
way that he sets himself on the wing where he just goes, let me set the ball and then I hit it. He does exactly that, but so he basically crosses it into the top left corner. Like, watch. It's a cross.
his little
almost.
his
It's the
little
same-
3 steps.
Yeah, it's the same move he makes out on the
Yeah.
wing to cross it to dunk for headers. Like, it's the same move exactly. He's just
Yeah.
orientated himself towards the goal directly, so it looks like a perfect.
Well,
you
I
know,
mean,
it's
well,
a shot, but it's his cross
well-
move, is what I'm saying.
well, he shot it with the inside of his foot, and if you're listening, he shot it with his left, with the inside of his foot, and it was just a rocket. According to him, they practice this every practice, and and so I wondered, why is the first time we see this?
I
You
think they have
practice-
tried before, and he didn't have so much space by himself, like in this particular game. And I think they saw the opportunity when Ojeda did the signal, hey, Rafa, this is for you. Let me go for you. And then they played short and then long. So I think it was that.
I mean, New England just caught napping.
Yeah.
Like you
They were-
got to pick up all their men. They
Can-
left
can
the
you
man
put it
wide
again?
open.
I want to see who they are defending. Jansen for a header?
I don't think he's just hanging out on the edge of the box and no one picks him up.
Let's see that line. Goku. Look at Goku there.
This is Angulo.
Oh no, they were all over the place. They were not.
Yeah, they're coming to him. I mean, before
Rafa's
they
not even in the box. He's just
Yeah,
chilling.
this is outside the box.
Here's a look at that win
They
probability.
started to
Now,
melt
did
down.
you guys? I'm sure you both were at the. Well, I know you probably weren't at the game, but I know you, John, were at the game. Did you see the 3D lion that
In
came
the- in the field? I have seen it before.
Yeah. So it came back. Yeah, it came back. Yeah, I'm just word of thought right there.
You didn't see it before? I don't like it. Do you like it, John? I
thought it was funny
John,
because I thought it was funny because when the game started, the lion stay there. And you couldn't
Oh,
see
it didn't
yeah,
keep
yeah,
off.
yeah. Like you couldn't see Galese or the back line for the first few minutes.
I'll say this. When I worked there for years, there was talk of like, hey, when we have the starting whistle, we need to do the lion roar. And everyone and me and a lot of the people were like, this is dumb. We don't want to do a lion roar when the game starts. We don't like that. And then I left the club, and years later now they have the lion roar.
So
and now the
whoever
lion
was-
roar is expanded to having a 3D lion on the TV.
Yeah, it's a 3 line on
It's
TV.
just I understand why, because they're taking a lot of things from what American sports do, and there's like in soccer we don't have nearly as many screens as other sports, and there's like so many other crazy things happening in American sports that don't happen a lot in soccer, and I love that, and I think we got to keep it fairly simple.
Yeah,
But stuff like this is, we're
I-
getting more and more to the direction where we're gonna start, I don't
And-
know, getting a real lion out on the field or something stupid like that. So that's where I want to be like, some things are okay. I hate the lion on the screen. I think it's stupid and dumb, but
no,
I don't like the
I
roar,
understand
to be
that
honest,
like
but-
they're trying to appeal to I don't know, the
Yes.
American sports fan that thinks that kind of stuff is needed.
First the city slickers and now the lion.
Yeah, and that's like between the shorts and the lion, I was like, ugh.
The
I'm just
city
like,
slickers.
Can we just play the game, please?
There you go.
9.6 now. It's skyrocketed up to 82. They're looking
Here, that's what I wanted to kind of. So, usually Carlos Hill is not known for doing this, but I felt that he decided it was a good idea to throw his right arm while defending Ojeda, which, by the way, that's the Ojeda I think the team signed for all these millions of dollars, and it's paying off now. He's in top shape. He's being super influential in the attack, and so his hand his hand hit the ball, and so a penalty was given. I'm trying to find the exact moment.
there.
Right there.
There it is.
Yeah, right there. So he had his arm stretched out and it hit the ball, and yeah. So the cool thing about it is that I remember back in the day before no one would say anything, everyone would stay quiet and the game would go on. But now everybody's being vocal about it, which is good. So I don't know. I was Carlos is like super disappointed. Like if I was Oscar, I'd be like, hey, you want to come next year to Orlando? I'll take him. You wouldn't take him?
I wouldn't take him. I have Ojeda now.
No, you won't?
I think his stock is massively dropped. I think
Yeah.
I think
I
part of the
mean-
reason they're so rotten is it's got a lot to do with Carlos Gil.
He hasn't been the Carles Hill of when he got here in MLS this year. So
It's like him and Hani Mukhtar fell
And
off.
Right?
They
yeah.
both just like were like top
Ooh.
level 10s in the league that now are just like,
they clash.
Are you? Can you still do it?
Yeah, and Ricky Pooch went off, man. Ricky Pooch.
Ooh,
Yeah, that was a great
boy
pickup
right
by LA
there.
Galaxy.
I'm so happy they won El Tráfico too.
What
There
do
you
you think
go.
about like
Questions of a handball.
your Lucho Acosta, your Cucho, like
Yeah.
Carlos Gil and Mukhtar are no longer in that conversation.
Yeah.
Pinto is pointed.
Now they show the referee here. I'm gonna say this. They gotta repeat these refs. They were actually the officiating was probably the best officiating I've seen in a long ass time for the MLS. I mean, kudos to them. And I thought it was pretty cool. I don't know, Paula, what do you think about that? Other
do you
officiating.
think it was because of Porter, of the crybaby that he had, that cry momentum?
Well,
They
he got
said, okay,
fined.
I will. He got fined, but let me get you the best referees of the league to ref that game to see if you're gonna say something else. No, they were on point. I don't have any, and there were three women's and one guy as the official referee on Saturday. So, I don't have any complaints.
Well, I'm
I
glad
think,
nobody
Like you
said.
said, the first game that is the best one. Go ahead.
I'm
Luis.
glad that no one said the ref belonged on OBT because that would have been very complicated to come back from. But we'll continue.
We'll looking to deliver a huge sucker punch
No.
just before halftime.
Now I was a little nervous here,
Yeah.
because he missed. I think he missed his first goal like that. His first penalty. But I mean, it was just a superb.
I feel like Facu is just in form at the moment. You know what I mean? Like he's just in
Oh,
that
yes.
space right now where he's just where he usually is at this time of year where he's crushing it. So when he steps up, I'm like, also like he's kind of our leader, like
He
right
is.
now
He's the
in
face of
lots
the
of
team.
ways. Like he's more than ever. Like I think that he is really starting to become that guy that we can put our team behind.
Okay, it says, let's read some comments real quick. It says, how do we get Muriel motivated? Bring in James. I think we'll look, and again, who am I to say anything, right? I felt the team, Orlando, I mean, they didn't have the roster space to do it anyways. I mean, but he was a free agent. James was a free agent. He kind of winked that he wanted to come to the MLS and no one really was interested. I think he would have fit perfectly in the team, in my opinion, even though he was a little old. But I feel like, he has leadership qualities. He would have brought more heads and seats, and it just would have been a win-win. But I think Muriel, there's to me at least two options: is see how he performs in preseason if he's fit, and two, he's gonna have to do one whole preseason with the team. I don't know. I just feel like I think Oscar already realized, he's his third option. I feel like now for him, his first and second options are going to be Duncan or Ramiro. And then the third option coming in like the 80th minute is going to be Muriel. And I think this is going to be till the end of the season. I don't know what you think about that, Paula. You think about that?
I agree, but at the same time, he can be utilized in a different spot if he's not going to be a striker. But it has to be strategically smart where you put him. But at this point, he's going to be the third option, unfortunately. I mean, look at Ojeda. Ojeda wasn't like this in last season. So hopefully next season he's going to shell and he's going to find that chemistry, understand how the league works. It's not like Italy or Europe. And hopefully he can find his path here in Orlando.
There you go. Stream Jesus, the ref belong on Church Street. There you go. It's a great one. We should definitely do that when we have female referee. The Jungle Boys goated. There you go. Thank you. Jungle Boys fever. Says Stream Jesus. Stream Jesus. I felt like the roar intimidated them. It was super loud. This is Anthony Zali Santos. As CM center mid, long shot from now on. Oh, it's a center mid, long shot from now on. No, he said the City Slickers, he says. There you go. Anthony Solis. There you go. The City Slickers. Okay, Grandpapa, says Stream Jesus. There you go. Hot take. I think the white shorts look nice with the purple shirt. There you go. But yeah, thank you for dropping your comments. We'll continue watching the highlights.
He plays it, still chance for another now. It's on for
Throw them off, like he can do either from that position.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this right here is controversial because, this is where I'm going to pick Alonso's comment right here. He says, Gallese should have been on Team of the Week. I mean, this was definitely the save of
the
week for sure.
It's a four-man wall plus
Look at
one
this.
for Orlando City. Not going, but it will be here.
That was going in.
Like that was going in, man. Like that was going in.
But it will be
Great save.
It's a phenomenal save right there,
One-handed.
One-handed too, man, Boom.
What a save from Pedro.
Have you seen the pulpo fly? There you go. Gallese flying.
Now, expecting more of Mark Anthony K. He was like non-existent the whole entire game.
Celebration.
Yeah, I thought too. But
He
his
probably
dad
forgot. Yeah.
Luis, you should have
Is
got
that-
that in writing, man. I feel like we needed that on paper.
Yeah,
written
yeah,
down
yeah,
contract that he was gonna do the Holland.
Yeah, his dad taught him that. You know what I mean? So,
Hey, we love a backflip.
Yeah.
Also, it was really nice. I was up in the club where I could tell it was Duncan's family and his brother were up there holding their Duncan McGuire shirts. So when this went in, his little brother was going crazy. And
Aw.
it was Duncan brought him out at the end of the game to do the up and
cheering.
down on the wall. So
That's
I could
awesome.
tell the McGuires had a really great game, and great to see Duncan
Yeah, for
scoring
sure.
again.
Yeah, and he's scoring again. He has a brand new contract, well-deserved contract, by the way. And not only that, but like the shot, like I saw a lot of comments by New England fans blaming the keeper for the goal, and you could say that, but I felt his shot was just his shot was like so powerful.
I think anytime it's near post and it goes
Yeah.
under your keeper, he's gonna be blamed.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Like you said, Luis, Nico Ladera, perfect at the right time for
right time.
like Ojeda. Like Ojeda had an okay game, but he wasn't like tearing it up, you know. So I think that's in that scenario, it's bring him off at the 60th and get Nico on. And also the same thing with Enrique, right? He's playing okay, but you know, get some fresh legs on with Duncan, and then immediate impact, right? Nico to Duncan, both the subs getting the goal.
Yeah, I mean that's the depth that Orlando has right now, and you know it's if they're all going to be playing in this. I mean, a lot of people downplay. Yeah, I mean it is New England. They did not have a really good game. They allowed a lot of but also the finishing, taking the chances, making the best out of the chances. You know, the offensive production and the Lions are having. I mean, right now they've scored 3 goals in 2 consecutive matches. So I believe they have 20 shots, 5 on target, and they scored on 3 out of those 5. So those are pretty good stats, and obviously you expect Torres to score, Duncan to score, Ramiro to score, but obviously having Santos score, it's a good unexpected, surprise, especially in the offensive wise. Yeah, he could have done more. I mean, he had 3 chances all night.
Do you feel, Luis, like that is Wilder being like, I already got this? You know what I mean? I feel like he thought he got it so easily, like he didn't. You know what I mean? Like he just passed it and like casually, like, oh, I'm gonna slot this away.
Or he
Like,
didn't envision who was next to him.
Sometimes you think, oh, I'm gonna score before you actually play the pass, and then that's kind of what you end up with.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like clearly they've practiced this. Him shooting from outside the box. But I just think he was just not having a good night. He's tried that with Peru before, even though his role there is like to really be this gritty guy, not so much of generating any attack. But I think here he had a lot of chances, and unfortunately it wasn't his night. But I'm sure we'll see one of those going in. Hopefully in the next couple games that are coming up, they're going to be
probably
vital.
on Wednesday.
Yeah, hopefully.
Wilder only scores bangers.
Or against Columbus. I mean, I'll flip if it's against Columbus, man.
Can you
Man, you imagine if Orlando gets 6 points? Bro, they're the dream, man.
Wow.
That should be our.
So there's nothing to excuse there, is there? I mean, like, what are you doing? Like, what? Like anybody on the team, I would be like, that was an epic failure. But it just shows for me that he has the yips. Like he has the yips.
Yeah.
The man didn't know what to do, and then there's only one thing to do there: shoot. Or we should have shot earlier anyway. But B, Facu is wide open. Is it Facu on the other side? It's like the simplest pass, and the guy doesn't do either. He just stumbles his way off the edge of the field. Like it looked like something out of FIFA where you just, I don't know, missed the button or something. Like I'm like, dude, what? He just ran off the edge of the field. Like he's so concerned, Luis, without losing the ball that he doesn't try to play the ball. Like only when he has space around him does he play the ball. If you watch, as soon as any players come in near him, he starts to panic, and that's because he knows he's gonna lose the ball. He's I don't want to like murder the guy, but that was, I think, a perfect example of everything that's wrong with Muriel. And you say like, hey, he's not the striker anymore, but he was the striker. So what, like he did that at Atlanta, just ran out the edge of the field? I don't think so. So you're not the midfielder, you're not the striker, but whatever you are in that scenario, you need to put the ball in the back of the net or make the pass, not do nothing. So that's my Muriel
Yeah, I
rant.
mean,
But I was
he's
really mad about that moment, dude, because I was like, what on earth are you doing?
he's right now rated in FIFA, I believe. He's like
78.
yeah, he's pretty high out there, and people are outraged at
Like
that they
they
rate
brought
him.
out the new FIFA stats for the FC25 stats.
Yeah.
And he's still our highest rated player, and he went down like a bunch. It's like, okay, like Faku is better than this guy. Like, what are you like? You don't have anybody actually scouting the MLS. Don't even get me started on Barbara Banda's rating. I'm a throw something, but that's I'll save that for the Pride Pod, Luis.
Yeah, no. So look, look, I have the actual ratings here, so you guys could see.
Shout out to Santos in Team of the Week, by the way, and
Yep.
and Faku
And Faku,
on the
Faku,
bench
yeah.
for Team of the Week.
Yep. So, look, Muriel is 78, man. Nico Ladera and Faku are 70, 74 and 73, respectively. Gales is 72, man. Come on, man. Ojeda 72. Angulo 69. I mean, I think that's.
I feel like if
right.
you're just a fan and you don't play any of these video games, you're just like, what is this? Who cares? It's stupid. But it's interesting because it's like one of the many metrics by which teams are judged. Like the same thing with like Football Manager. I'll play that and I'll look at players in there. It's like just an interesting metric, right? And then they're just not reflective of real life a lot of the time. So we get frustrated when our players that we like aren't really like rated highly in the game.
Anthony Solis Muriel is 10 points too high. I agree. So, I mean, some of the takes is that, Orlando, it's right now 5th in the standings too right now. So Orlando after this game, they're 5th in the standings, right? So, and obviously we could say, oh yeah, but if they would have won all the other games, we could have been in a better spot right now. But that's just being a little, that's just, to me, it feels kind of like, all right, well, yeah, they pooped the bed. Okay. But at least they clean it up. And now, they're 5th, right? They're not like 12th, so I just think it's just a little bit of nitpicky, a little bit. I mean, I understand, expecting greatness from your team and all of that good stuff. But I mean, they're 5th right now.
At this
They're
point,
5th
like
right now.
forget about what's happened. Where are we right
Yeah.
now? We're in a good position at the end of the year.
Uh-huh.
And obviously the other stuff matters, but I'm just, for argument's sake, let's just focus on the rest of the season. And like we talked about, Luis, last episode, we had the opportunity to do what we did do and leapfrog over New York City and Charlotte because we got some results that went our way. Charlotte lost, I believe. New York City drew. So, and then we got the business done at home. And now we're up in 5th and we're looking, 3 points away from being in a top 4 position. If we're going to go into the playoffs in top 4, that's something that earlier in the season, we were like, oh, imagine if we managed to get up into top 4 and go into the, and just like, I really didn't think that would be possible. So if we get to that point, it's going to be much better for playoffs. Like, I don't want to go like play a 3-game because obviously we have the 3-game first opening round. Like if you're going to have to play Miami over 3 games or Cincinnati or Columbus over 3 games, right. I don't know if we're going to get through on that. Right. But if we got the home advantage and we're playing someone below us and we're one of the top 4 teams, that makes a massive difference. So we're set up here to keep rolling up the table. But yeah, we got a little lucky on those results, but also we took care of business. So that's all you can ask for.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely I feel like the Lions improved their offensive production. Duncan Maguire scored again. The mids were able to deny Carlos Hill, so they're able to deny a 10 that has a lot of mobility. That's a creator of chances for the rival team, and we made him, and we did, when Martin Perelman practices in every practice, they did. which is set pieces, and I felt like it was an overall great game by them. I don't know. What were your last thoughts of this game, Paola? And we're gonna be diving into Charlotte right now.
I mean, we did what we were supposed to be doing. Take the 3 points, move to Charlotte, and I am glad that we could capitalize the 3 points and the 3 goals. Like Orlando City has been 2 games consecutive scoring 3 goals on each game. So let's see if we keep up the momentum. And this is our time not to look back, just to look forward. Forget what happened in the beginning of the season and keep winning 3 points as much as we can.
There you go. Those are some comments, and then this is Charlotte will be interesting. Says Anthony Solis. They're not performing their best, but they have wild moments that they can capitalize. Example: Charlotte beat Cincy 3-1 in Cincy. There you go. Yeah, true that. But hopefully that's not the case for us. So do you set in and out of form? You want to talk about that, John?
Yeah, we kind of talked about it anyway, but
Yeah.
I want to get Paolo's opinion and your opinion
Yeah,
on
sure.
a few players. Like, for example, right now, one is like the Duncan versus Enrique argument,
Ramiro.
right? Like,
Mhm.
it's so. What do you think on that one? Who like it's kind of
Paola.
obvious, but Paolo,
I
what's your
can go first. I mean, for Charlotte, I think I have been wrong in the couple of pods, but this will be making more sense for Wednesday. I think Duncan will start, and it's just because Ramiro just started and played 70 minutes, and Duncan came in as fresh legs, or it can be backwards. I mean, I don't mind either or, but right now Duncan just scored, and I think I don't know if Oscar is looking for that result of who's going to score more, but at the same time, Ramiro has had opportunities to score. So I don't mind if Duncan plays on Wednesday to start. He has fresher legs than Ramiro, and Ramiro comes from the bench. I think that's the most not obvious, but we can take advantage of that versus Charlotte. But that's all my thoughts. Like Duncan will start, Ramiro come from the bench for Wednesday night. What about you, Luis?
Well, I mean, I think we need to, against a team like Charlotte, we need to continue that offensive production that we've shown. Those set piece prepared, those prepared set pieces that they're doing with Martin Perelman, they need to continue. Definitely between Ramiro and Duncan. I mean, if typically Oscar is not the guy who changes his lineup now, but I do feel also like you, Paul. I feel like Duncan, because he scored, I think probably he may switch it up a little bit, to have Duncan coming in and then Ramiro fresh legs in the second half, maybe to create more of that defensive pressure up top, maybe causing a turnover, a transition, or something like that, and we can go on the attack, or maybe play it even with both in the second half. At this point, but I think to me the key would be to maintain our double pivot playing phenomenal. And I think defensively against this team, we need to definitely they're definitely a better opponent than New England, and so we are going to be, they're going to attack us through the flanks, so we got to be prepared for that, and I think Orlando, it's a team very based on momentum, right? So if Orlando scores first, they're able to control the game and then put the W in the bag, pretty much like they've shown against New England and also Nashville, right? And so they could also do that with Charlotte. Let's see if this happens, right? So I guess to me, defense is going to be important to maintain our defensive discipline in this game.
So like Santos is in form. for example, like Torres, we would say is in form at the moment. Like someone who may be a little bit out of form, I think, at the moment is Angulo. I've noticed he's giving away the ball quite a lot. Just his passes, like something that was bad against New England, Luis. They had 7 interceptions. Now, were they that good at intercepting the ball? Yes and no. Like there's some of those interceptions, we were just making some wayward passes. I remember when you were talking about when the internationals away with Luis, and like a lot of them were giving away. Like I think that's our biggest problem is right now is ball retention, and we're just being a little bit sloppy at times where we just give them back the ball. And if we do that against better opposition, then they're going to use that to murder us. Luckily, New England weren't that good, but we still need to be working on that kind of stuff. And Charlotte's going to be another test. So maybe Angulo might kind of like, I want to kind of see a little bit of an improvement in the next few games going forward.
Yeah, I agree with you, and also the ability of Oscar in making the substitutions right away. Like I mean, if
Cesar and Wilder gave the ball away a few times, like we're just as a team, we just could be a little bit less
turnover-ish.
Yes, we got a lot of turnover. Yeah, we just need to just tighten it up a little bit.
No, I completely agree with you on that. So that takes us to Charlotte. Yep. So we're going to play against Junior Urso again. He's coming back to Central Florida. I don't know what are your thoughts for starters, Paola, on Junior Urso coming back with a different jersey now.
Sometimes when you see players that play in Orlando City and go to a different MLS team, doesn't hurt you, but this one hurts me a little bit. I mean, hopefully he doesn't come out of the bench and score on us. Hopefully he's just ignoring us like Ruan has been here and hasn't been the most top player for the opponent team. But I mean, it is what it is. I feel that Charlotte, for me, in my opinion, is one of the teams that we say, oh, we can beat them, and then they come here and beat us. And I remember as today, I saw this game with John last season in the Wall, and we were expecting that Orlando City was going to win, and Charlotte came and put how many goals? I don't even remember how many goals they put behind that net, and I was kind of mad. So I see Charlotte as a team that we need to beat them, and I don't care if Junior Urso is there, but I mean, it happens. That happens when you want to go back home in another league instead of staying, and then now he had to leave to another team. So be prepared, Urso. We're coming for you.
Yeah, I mean, definitely Junior Urso will probably be coming as a substitution. I wanted to show their latest lineup. They lost against Montreal at 2-1. And obviously Junior Urso was subbed in the second half. They also have Bronico. Now, they always subbed in Bronico and Urso, especially Bronico. He always gets to have really good games against Orlando because he's such a physical player and very disruptive player, and very crafty into drawing fouls as well, in my opinion. So we got to watch out for that because already Cartagena got a yellow. So, we don't want to be without our double pivot against Columbus. And to me, I think Kerwin Vargas and Abada and have always, at least their wingers have always had a good time with Orlando's defense. That's something we need to improve. But also they've gotten boosted in the defense because they got Tim Ream, former Fulham player. I don't know. What are your thoughts about that, John? Tim Ream, Fulham. Good old Fulham.
I don't know though, man, because Tim Ream hasn't been so hot. Like he did not play well in the USA game. I know what you mean, yes, but like he just got there, so he might not be like fully fleshed out. Tim Ream,
and he's definitely
a threat. Aerially,
he scored from a set piece.
Yeah, I mean it's always going to be a threat on corners, but he's slow. He's a lot slower than he was last year at Fulham. I think he's really starting to decline. And I just also this team is just not very inspiring. I think Dean Smith is uninspiring. I think there's a lot of things about Charlotte this year where they were like trying to, do things differently and like really shake it up, and they're kind of just slipping back into the same Charlotte that we knew from before. Now Paulo is talking about like, hey, they could be a bogey team for us. They're like our new bogey team, so we got to watch out for that. But I still think we should beat them. I mean, they lost 2-1 to Montreal. Before that, they lost to Atlanta, like at home.
Yeah.
Atlanta are bad right now. Like, and then they managed to draw with Red Bulls before that. The last time they won was on penalties against Cruz Azul. So that's
Cruz
not
Azul.
really a
They don't
win.
have a
Actually,
good form right now.
last actual win they had.
Yeah, but this is a good data that Anthony's giving you, John. It says Charlotte's offense has been productive in creating shots. So shots, listen. Since Leagues Cup, 34 shots, 19 on goal, 55% accuracy. This is from the last 3 matches. Orlando defense needs to be on point. Completely agree.
Sure. Well, then why didn't they score more against Montreal? Like, why didn't they score against Atlanta? Like, I understand what you're saying, but they're just not performing well. I mean, they haven't won since July. So I think this is a Charlotte team that is,
Beatable.
floundering, and they are desperate to try and turn around their playoff campaign. I also think that it's significant that we're playing a midweek game after everybody just played on the weekend. Like, they are going to have to rotate a little bit. And I think that we have better depth. Like we might see a bit of rotation, but I prefer our depth than I do. Like, love Junior, but you really want to start Junior in a game? I don't think so. So it's a case of like they have some threats, but more difficult than New England. But I still think we can comfortably get a win if we play our game as we should do.
Yeah, for sure. We have I have the training B-roll for Orlando, right? And I believe also, John, you had some news about our new signing.
Heine. Yeah, Heine is
Ginkling.
Yep, Heine is here. Well, he was already here, but finally it was confirmed today by Mike Ramajo that he is. I don't know if it was Mike who broke it. I just saw Mike's tweets, but yes, he is now available. He has got his ITC, his international, place or whatever they have to do in order to be able to secure him on the roster so that he can play for us. So there's speculation of him being, coming off the bench perhaps on Wednesday against Charlotte. So we'll see. I mean, it's a new guy. I don't think we're going to be like putting a lot of hope in him going into the rest of the season playoffs. Like, I think he's going to see minutes. I think he's going to start to get in the team, Luis, but how much is he going to contribute to the rest of the season? I don't know. I think it's more one for the future, and they just, well, maybe. I mean, we saw like in subs, we seeing like Felipe came on, for example, right? So if Heine had been available, he probably would have come on for Cesar Wilder, and that's probably what we'll see going forward is the last 10 or 20 minutes of a game. He'll get some minutes, and we'll see what we got. But the headband is there, Luis. That's all I care about. The headband is there.
I think
I'm trying to see if he's
if he celebrates, like if he scores a goal and doesn't take the headband off and throw it around I don't know, like that's got to be his signature move.
You want it? I know you want.
I want him to like take it off and like fire it into the crowd, and then someone.
I let my hair grow. I let my hair grow and look like those lonely boys with that headband.
All right. Do you need a headband, Luis? We need to get you one.
I'll wear it, man.
He's got so much hair coming in his face, but.
I think Heine comes in as clutch because Wilder just got a yellow card, and then I know in the last episode I said that Araujo might be suspended, and
there you go.
I was wrong. There you go.
There you go.
if Araujo gets a yellow card on this game, he won't
Then
be
he's
available for
then he's
Columbus.
suspended. Yeah, he was one away.
So I think this is the best chance to put Heine there. Like a headband.
So I mean,
The
he
headband.
looks. I don't know. I mean, for the double pivot, I mean, he's definitely. I think Wilder's a little bit more, a little bit more stacked, and MLS is a physical league. I believe he's probably going to put on some muscle next season for sure. Especially to play the D mid role, especially in the MLS.
A lot of chicken and rice.
I think that's my concern, Luis. Is like, we gotta see like how well he stacks up in the league, and you know what's interesting? They brought out the FC 25. Like we were talking about the cards, and he's in there, and he's rated 60. So there you go. Now we know where he falls in the scale of our club based on FC 25's ratings.
LPO should make headbands.
Yo, we do need to do some merch. I'm gonna work on that in the off season. We're gonna work on some things.
Orlando should be able to be Charlotte, says Anthony. They have been terrible on the road. There you go. Thank you so much. Is it Luis Muriel? No. Luis Pineda? Yes. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. Thank you so much, Ben. So I agree with Anthony. I think this team is one of those teams that we should. I mean, we're at home. I know there's going to be a lot of less people than usual because it is a Wednesday and people work, and I already saw on some groups, hey, I have I have my ticket available, so it's fine. I just think that Orlando needs to get the W here and just go super motivated against, because the real game and the real rock and roller is going to be against Columbus. And so one game at a time, like John said, right? So look at their form right there, You were putting a picture of their form.
Yeah, sorry, I horrible. Put it back up. That's why I wanted to just show you. Like when you look
it's terrible.
When you look at it here, it just looks really. I mean, look, and it's all the way up here is their last win, and then even then it wasn't like they were good earlier in the season.
Mm-hmm.
They were much better than recently. So
yeah, they were better than us in the beginning of the season. Yeah. I think a lot of teams were better than us in the beginning.
And then I want to say the Josh Rittal talking about we go up to 4th. Yeah. I mean we have a game in hand on Ripples, so that's I believe they're. I mean, eventually they'll catch up to each other, but right now we could potentially go up to 4th. We'll have to see. I mean, it's a big game. Obviously, Charlotte, like, right beneath us here. So this is a 6-pointer. Charlotte will be looking at this like they have to win it. And if they win it, they'll go take 5th. Right. Well, they'll leap us above us on points and New York. So just like we did to them on the weekend. So this is a massive 6-point game in the table.
It is a massive game. And, if Orlando takes it, it will skyrocket Orlando. And obviously bring a lot of momentum against Columbus, right? And Columbus had some also weird games. I think the loss against Seattle, they got like clobbered by Seattle as well.
Poor Neil.
Yeah, so no one had that coming, and I think it's a good opportunity to kind of just ride the wave of being 4th for a couple of weeks, And I know people expect it to be 1, 2, but I'll take the 4th place.
And the New York City, who are in between us,
right,
play Philly, and Philly are looking a little bit better recently.
Yeah, Philly wants to. Philly wants to
desperate to get in the playoffs.
Yeah, they want to get at least 8th or 9th, and they're going to be tough if we get to play them.
Slip up there. So if New York don't gain any points and we beat Charlotte, we're putting a little distance there between us as well.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot to play for here. We got to hope the Red Bulls slip up. But we've got some games left in the season, Luis. So we got time to climb into 4th. We don't have to do it like on Wednesday, but we're in a good position.
Now, what are you? Let's read some comments real quick, then we go onto the predictions, and also we'll talk a little bit about CB. Christopher Bragdon says, John, I got you on the merch. There you go. Eric Vega says, "Hey guys, let's go City." There you go. Thank you, my friend. Gnocchi says, "I wonder if Freeman will get a chance this season on the senior team." Yeah, I agree. I agree with her 110%. 5 goals in 4 games for Alex Freeman. He needs to be. If we need depth, I mean, there you go.
I think he should
I-
be coming off the bench for
He should.
Dagger at certain points in the game.
He
you know,
should. He should. I mean, 5 goals in 4
Sakata is.
games. And Sakata, yeah, Sakata comes for Faku. So I think it's just a matter of time, patience. But I think if he keeps doing really great at OCB, it's just a matter of time for him just to slip into the first team for sure. Now, what are your expectations? What's your score for this game, John?
2-0 Orlando.
Okay. What about you, Paula?
I don't want to jinx it, man, but I will say 3-1.
3-1. Man.
We have
I'll
been
say, Junior Urso will score an own goal the second half. No, I'm just kidding. Orlando wins 3-0. I think it's another 3,
We gotta watch
3-0
out for Agamayang, whatever his name is, Patrick Agamang. I can't say his name.
Yeah, that guy.
Agamang, Patrick Agamang. He earlier in the year, Paula, he was causing us problems when he came up. He's a unit of a guy who just big fat center forward.
He's injured.
He's still injured. Okay, good.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Good. Stay injured.
No,
so
stay injured, Aggie man, stay injured.
Man, that's it. Patrick Aggie man.
Yeah. This is 2-1 or 2-1. Air Vegas is 2-1. Anthony Solis is 3-1. And it says Gnocchi, Union are not pushovers. They were robbed on some calls for in Miami. No shocker. There you go. In the terms of table position, Charlotte is the team we face in similar to Orlando in points. The rest of the teams we face are either too high or too low in comparison to Orlando, says Anthony. Golazo by Santos in the last game. Facu and Duncan added to it as well. And 2-0 Orlando, says Joshua. Thank you for that. So we'll predict Orlando City win. I think it'd be amazing just to take the momentum to Columbus, and that's going to be like a final. It will make us ride the wave right there and be in fourth for a while. Now, anything you want to add that I'm forgetting, John? I know that we talked about, we were going to talk about OCB. OCB is doing fantastic as well.
Talk more in detail on Monday. I mean, on Thursday, we'll do a section on them then. Yeah. But just for right now, look, I mean, if people don't realize, OCB have gone a little bit of a run these recent weeks, and a lot of that's to do with guys like Alex Freeman. They've been playing well, and Sakata and Jack Lynn's back in there scoring. And they're up here now with, we were talking that a few episodes ago about the academy rankings. Well, the Union's academy is ranked one of the best in the league. So is Inter Miami. So we're starting to look in the table, reflect where I think we got a lot of talent in USL Pro and NWSL Pro, and they're
MLS.
I'm mixed up on my leagues. MLS Next Pro, sorry. And it's starting to show. Like earlier in the year, we were losing to Chattanooga, Carolina Core, and now we're up there in the top, and that's a lot to do with the turnaround that we've seen from this team recently. So, like I said, we'll talk more on Thursday about their individual performances and their results recently. But shout out to OCB, who is quietly having a good end to the season here, Luis.
Yeah, and not only that, I do want to say also other 2 OCB members, the under-18 men's youth national team with Colin Gusk, which you guys can see right here on the bottom right, and Justin Ellis, both in OCB. They beat Peru 2-0 in Niigata, Japan. they have these under 18 tournaments over there in Japan. And both Lions both scored 2-0 win over Peru. So it's fantastic for them for their exposure. I have some of the footage I wanted to show real quick that I was able to collect. It's right here on our Instagram. If you guys, this is Justin Ellis's goal right here, right
Boom.
there. Just that backline for Peru, man, I feel so terrible. And then look at that. That's as of a set. Look at Colin Gusk, like just it's and then the celebration. So I mean, these are kids that MLS Next Pro. They're definitely thriving in MLS Next Pro, and it shows now in the national stage. And so this is not only great for MLS Next, but it's also great for them because they could get scouted by. That's how players for the national team that are playing now in the senior level, they get scouted to go to like Bundesliga and things like that. So good for them, and especially though they're from OCB, so it shows all their work that they're putting in. It's definitely paying off. So anything else you want to add, Paola, before we go?
No, 3 points on Wednesday. Hopefully, we get the same momentum that I saw on Saturday and not too sloppy with the giving the ball away. And I believe in our boys. I think the momentum is good. And 3 points on Wednesday.
For sure. Anything else you want to add, John, before we go?
Luis, what about the Peru U18s there again? Colin Gusk is doing your team dirty, man. What's that about? You're
Well,
you gotta be like, yo, Colin, don't be scoring on Peru.
No. I look, I'm a professional. I don't. I don't. Yeah, I don't see. I don't see nationality at that point. and honestly, they made this team literally in less than a month, and they participated in this tournament just to say they are work. Yeah.
Got you. So they don't really have a U18 setup.
No.
They just made one.
Oh my!
They just made one out of kids these kids that they played against. They're actually under 17.
Yeah.
They're 16, 17-year-olds playing against 18, 19-year-olds.
Wow.
Yeah. And honestly, there shouldn't be a lot of difference, but it is when you do things look, the US model is thriving and there are less soccer oriented culture. Peru's is super soccer oriented culture. It's like a religion over there, but their youth is crap and needs to be exposed in a large stage. And those are the results when you do things last minute, when you don't pay attention to the youth, when you have 40-year-olds playing in your league. They have 40-year-olds playing in the top 2 teams in Peru. It's disgusting, and they're not given the opportunity to the youth, and the youth is what's going to carry on the game, and they don't understand that. They cannot get it in their thick head. So I'm actually glad that the U.S. gave them a whole shower of humbleness taught him a lesson, believe it or not. Because honestly, I'm so delighted to hear that Justin Ellis and Colin Gusk scored, especially both being from Orlando.
That's awesome, man.
So
I think
that's fantastic.
We know that both of them got a bright future. I mean,
super bright future.
They're in a great season with OCB, and these are guys that a year ago we didn't really talk about. We didn't really know them much at all, and now here they are on the U.S. U18 team. So this is how it starts, and
that's how it starts,
and it goes from there, man. I mean, hopefully we're gonna see more of them from OCB, and then maybe they're starting to. Right, they're going to be another one that's going to get a call up for first team minutes soon. So
hopefully we see him. Hopefully we see him in Europe. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we're really starting to see some of these players come through the academy and really shine. So it's great. I just want to see them get more first team minutes. But
and
it was great to see him come on again. So let's keep that happening.
Yeah, let's keep putting in Kaczewski and the Cicadas and the Freemans and the
Heine.
Heine, Thomas Williams. Like we need Shaq Mohammed, like all those guys, Justin Ellis, Colin Guska. They're coming hot from international competition. You want to actually put him on the field to keep that hot streak going. You imagine if Galese and Cartagena come and back, and then they bench them, like they'll go cold. And you gotta keep them, letting them play. So I'm just happy that they were able to. Definitely both of them scored. So I wanted to thank everyone for your support. I appreciate everyone that was online, everybody that checked us out on Instagram, as well as on X, as well as on YouTube. We are Loud and Proud Orlando. We're available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts on audio form. Also available on X at LPO_podcast, on Instagram, LPO_podcast, Facebook, and YouTube as Loud and Proud Orlando. Anything else you guys want to add before we go?
Just again, go check out the Duncan interview if you've not.
Yep.
Luis did an awesome job on that, and thanks to Duncan for coming on the show. And
I have other surprises brewing soon.
Yeah,
so
we'll hopefully do more of that stuff in the future. Watch the Pride Pod tomorrow. We got a big game to review, and then we'll be back on Thursday. We got a double header this week, so we got
double header this week.
Thursday we'll be reviewing Charlotte and previewing Columbus.
Dun,
dun, dun.
Well, guys, as always, guys, vamos Orlando. Right, guys? Have a good one, guys.